Hello, it's Ed from East West Bushcraft, and I'm out here today in the woods with all the deer. There's a lot of deer activity, and we're out here today to collect some rose hips and make some rose hip tea and dry some rose hips for future camps so I can take them along with me. As I was saying that, some deer have just run. So I thought I'd bring you along. Just enjoy my day out in the woods with you and show you what I'm getting up to. What you may find on your hunt for rose hips is some hawthorn instead. This is a young hawthorn, so from a distance I thought it was rose hips, but it's not. They're different in shape and everything. They're just red, so it just tricks me from a distance. There's another one over here, all on the edge of the woodlands, but if we head out the wood we should actually find some rose hips and we can start collecting them, and they're fairly easy to identify and quite common. You'll probably recognize them, and yeah, and then we can collect them. They're really easy to collect as well. Hawthorn galore. This would be a great place to come collect some of these. Look at them. Found myself a rose hip, a rose bush with some rose hips on it. Some of them are looking a bit gone, so I wouldn't pick that one in particular. Super ripe. What we might associate rose hips with is the seeds, the irritable seeds on the inside and the hairs that we used to use as a itching powder in our childhood. So we need to bear that in mind, because when we're coming to drying this and processing this, we'll remove that or avoid it. So yeah, but either way, doesn't bother me right now. So I just need to collect some and put them in my dump pouch, which I've got on the side of my bag. I've got some horses that have slowly coming over to say hi. Camp is set up. I've got the tarp and the plough point configuration, so it's nice and spacious in there. I won't be needing it. It does make a good wind block actually, and a bit of concealment as well. The kit's up on the tree, on this nice oak tree. And as you may have seen, I've been collecting rose hips and putting it in this side pouch that I've got on the side of my bag, and all there. And what we need to do now is process these down so we can dry them. What I want to do is I want to slice these in half, cut them open and scoop out the seeds, the hairy seeds, and then dry them from there. Or I can make a tea as well straight from them. So we've got our rose hips, and there might be some bad ones in there, but it's okay, we'll sort it out. We're just going to use like the tip of our knife to help us out. This is a grill in its packet, so I'm going to use it as a surface. So let's start processing these. So as you can see, there's all the seeds in there that we don't want, and what we can do is we can scoop them out like that. And you see those hairs? We don't want those hairs either, so we can basically scrape them out like so, leaving us with just the fruit like that. And we rinse repeat. Sometimes you can get good thumb scrape first time and it works. That was the second time, and yeah, we're just going to keep going. If you can see that, but all the fruits made my hands sticky and all the hairs have got stuck to them. This is the stuff that we used to use as kids as a itching powder, natural itching powder. It's all good though, it doesn't itch my fingers. But that's why we don't want those irritable hairs in our drink, so best off to remove them. So I've processed this many so far. I will continue, but instead of wasting firewood, what I'll start doing is I'll start drying these. So I'll set these pegs up in the ground here, and inside of this is my grill. What I'm going to do is lean it like that, and my grill's corrugated and ribbed, so it's quite grippy, and as I can feel the heat from that, it's not too hot. And my hands are there, I can hold them there. So yes, it's okay. What I'll do is I'll start to lay these on so we can start drying them. So I'm going to stop processing rose hips there. I'm going to wait for these ones to dry out as much as I can with them, hopefully all the way. And the reason being is the ones that I've got left in here, which not too many. There's a lot of bad ones I just threw out, got rid of. Some that were not ripe at all, so it was really hard to scrape the inside out because when I bent it, the thing just fully snapped. So it wasn't really flesh. So I've got some mixed aged rose hips, some overly ripe, basically gone, and some not ready. So I found all the ones that I liked, and they're on the dryer, and I've got these ones remaining, and I'm going to take these home and put them in the freezer. So should I need them over winter, I've actually got my own little supply of berries at home, and I can always dry them another time. But I've got plenty here, which should do me for several trips in the future. So I want to dry these and take these out of me in the future. That's part of my kit going on forward, is develop my kit in the outdoors. If I can make trail mixes, or if I can make fruit teas that I can bring with me, and tinders and all types of everything. If I can, I'll try and do it in the outdoors and bring it along with me in the future, because I know how to replace it. It doesn't cost money, it just costs time and a bit of fun. So what I've done with the rose hips that are in my tea is different to the ones that I've cut in half and I'm drying. So I've put them in whole, but what I have done is I've scored the outside and pierced and punctured it a little bit, but all the way through, because I don't want to get access to the seeds and hairs. I just want the flesh. So there's a flesh layer, and then inside that is the seeds. Think of it like an apple, but obviously the seeds are way more and the flesh is way less. So I've just punctured the outside and chucked them in my tea. So that should infuse and slowly becomes a rose hip tea. You can also dry them like this. Do I recommend it? Either. Same thing, isn't it? Makes rose hip tea. Right, let's check on our tea. Oh, look at that. That is gaining some good colour. I could drink that now, that'd be quite nice. But I'm going to leave it for a bit longer, hopefully just get a little bit stronger. But yeah, that's looking quite nice. Doesn't look as strong on the camera, but to me that's quite strong. So yeah, I can leave it there for a bit longer just to keep warm. And the rose hips themselves are see, that one doesn't look very dry, but it actually feels really dry. So where it's a bit thicker there, it's a bit, some hairs still there. Get rid of them. So it's a bit, still a bit wet in the thicker places, but that's actually beginning to feel quite dry now. So we could be about halfway there. So we'll leave it there for a bit longer. Others, that one's curled up. Well, that feels very dry there. See, some of the hairs are still there. You can see them now. Maybe I could rotate some of these around. It's cooler here than there, so we'll swap a few of them around. So that feels good as well. See some more hairs there I've got missed. Oh, it's a bit hot right now. This is rather nice. So I just want to talk to you for a second about the two different methods of doing the rose hips that I've done here. So there's two different methods, and then there's wet or dry. So currently they're drying, and what you could do is you could have a whole rose hip and score it as so, and dry that. So you'd have like a shriveled prune looking rose hip, and then you've also got the sliced pieces where you've scooped out the irritable seeds and dried them like that. So you've got like the flakes version. Both work. The flakes, obviously, you can carry more of the concentrated good stuff with you than having to carry these sort of largish kind of berries. Like if you had a lot of them, it could be a substantial size for a pocket, whereas the others are, you know, it hasn't got the seeds on the inside, so it doesn't take up that much room. Either aren't very big, so this is not really a major issue. Which one is better? So neither are better. What I will say is this sliced one has an increased surface area, so that will should infuse quicker than the whole rose hips with scoring on the outside. So that should make your tea a bit quicker and or infuse just a bit richer. It should do. That being said, the other one's so quick, you can do that to a handful of berries, fresh berries, chuck them in and be done. So it's not swings and roundabouts, you know. Whatever makes your rose hip tea.
I would say they look about almost done. They look quite dry to my eye.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start packing some bits up, and I'll leave the fire going. Basically, I'll put the canteen and stuff away. And by the time I've done that, we can assess the rose hips, and I can show you what they look like up close, and then store them away.
I'm going to call it there. It's been about 3 hours against the fire, drying. Nice and dry. Like fruit leather right now. Yeah, how dry that is. Yeah, so these I'm going to pack up and put in a little container. So these are looking nice and dry now. That is, can't really tell on the camera, but that's nice and dry. It's like a bit of a fruit leather on the inside, and the outer skin's hard on the edges and stuff like that. So that's dried up. They could probably go a little bit longer, but they'll dry out. And they feel quite good actually. So what I'm going to do now, so I've got this little packet. And I'm going to put them in there. This isn't ideal because it's not breathable, so I won't seal it up fully, and I will find a better solution. So yeah, let's take them off this and put them in there. Pop them in here. I'll seal that up a little bit, so some moisture can still escape, and I'll get them a more appropriate bag, and I'll take them on the next camp.
So that's rose hip tea and drying some rose hips. It's quite fun to come out to the woods to do these sort of things. It makes your camping and days out experiences more interactive, I suppose, and you get to practice some skills. So I hope you get to do the same, and thank you for watching. I'm going to clear up the fire, leave no trace always, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much.